7 films.
散户蝕錢，問題出喺邊度？呢個5日股票實戰訓練班係由10年炒股經驗專業導師。
今日嚟藍田，咁我都曾經喺藍田人，但已經搬走咗，所以咧藍田呢一邊咧我係少翻嚟。咁我而家喺興田村呢間71之前介紹過㗎啦，同埋 BC 老闆嗰一集咧有重點影過佢嘅，咁啊特色咧就保留咗呢一度比較舊式嘅七仔門，街坊福利會嗰啲嚟喎，呢度就係。呢度都有得 出租都有得執嘅。咁啊，今日咧想重點睇咧旁邊嘅呢個商場，因為咧之前咧其實做咗一集咧就關於呢個屋邨啊，咁老人屋邨咧，即係嗰啲街市咧已經係拜拜晒咧，然後通常都變咗做一啲就係老人院啊咁樣。咁其中一個例子咧，我之前睇過咧就係關於呢一個興田嘅商場，亦都係一樣。哇！冇諗過係咁喎，因為我上一次嚟可能2年幾前㗎啦，咁大變化。我上一次嚟柏藍田咧就同阿張松之嗰集啦，咁但係張松之嗰集我都冇行過嚟呢一個位嘅，我平時自己行過嚟嘅啫，但係呢個商場，哇完全係面目全非拳喎！呢個係中咗惠康仲喺度啊，超級市場一路都喺呢一度嘅，但係咧正常一入嚟我睇講得翻啲舊相先，呢度係一個好大嘅中庭嘅位置，之後係街市嘅。佢而家成個街市死咗，唔係成個街市咁簡單喎。佢本身個商場有2層嘅喎，呢個會唔會太過誇張啊？咁唔使拍啦，唔係可以收檔嘅，因為冇得行㗎。本身個商場咧好大嘅中庭，然後咧圍住兩邊咧都係一啲嘅店鋪啊，有餐廳啊，藥材鋪啊，咩都有，就林林總總嘅。咁跟住咧後邊咧就係街市嘅位置，嗰邊就有個停車場。咁而家成個中庭唔係成個商場，係整個商場而家做老人中心。咁臨門口位置有間醫療中心啦，呢個都係新嘅啦。咁呢度啲鋪頭仔咧，我估啊，有啲應該就係喺街市嗰啲剩翻落嚟嗰啲鋪頭啦，因為街市其實呢個興田街市咧係長期都係嗰個街市咧係好疏落嘅，已經好多年嘅時間㗎啦。咁我都有印象係有啲即係呢啲香燭鋪啊、衣紙鋪啊，咁就可能搬咗嚟呢啲地方。之後加啲速剪啊、剪髮啊。
Hello， 聽唔聽到？做乜鬼咩？原來你今日喺 cafe 做嘢。
而家梗係揀 hybrid working 啦，你估我仲揾喺 office 做嘢咩？所以話用 JobsDB update 好 profile 就自動幫我分析配對 match 啱上工。我而家就係彈性上班接過位，無論白領藍領照樣 match 到。
A 251 refers to the second, fifth, and first chord of the key. So, for example, right now I'm in C major. So my 2 is D, D minor. My 5, the fifth chord of the key, is G, and the 1 is C, our tonic chord. Now, as you can hear, 251 is a very satisfying sounding chord progression. But the reason you hear people talk about them a lot is because they're incredibly good for changing key. You can basically change key to any key you like using a 251. So for example, as I said, right now we're in the key of C. If I wanted to move to a different key, for example F, all I have to do is play the 251 of that key, of the destination key. So I play the second, fifth and first chord in the destination of F major. And now we're in F major, and I can move back to C by just playing the second, fifth, and first chords of C. Now I'm back in C. So we just modulated from the key of C major to the key of F major using a 251. And this is actually exactly what happens in the Beatles song From Me to You. During the verse of From Me to You, we are in the key of C major. However, for the middle 8, we get these chords, G minor, C and F. 251 in the key of F. So this 251 delivers us to the key of F. However, we don't actually stay in this new key of F major for very long. Almost immediately we get another 251, this time returning us to the original key of C major. These 3 chords here, D, G and C, are the 2, 5 and 1 of C major. Now you may have noticed that the 2 chord here, the D chord, is actually a dominant chord, D7, D dominant 7, rather than the minor chord we got in the original 251 that moved us to F. With a 251, the 2 chord can actually be a major chord, a dominant chord, a minor chord, or a diminished chord. will all serve the purpose of contributing to that modulation. The one chord, in fact, can also be quite flexible. It can be a major chord or a minor chord. The only chord really that has to stay in a certain form is the 5 chord. The 5 chord has to be major, or preferably a dominant chord, a dominant 7 chord. Without that, we don't get that sense of movement, that leading tone that takes us to the new key. We can see a 2-5-1 with a minor 1 chord here in Carole King's You've Got a Friend. This G minor, C and F minor are a 2-5-1, moving us from the key of A flat major to its relative minor key of F minor. Another Beatles song to change key via 2-5.
5分鐘趕高鐵，唞咗個巴士，一確直途，快啲又低啲，新用戶搜尋免費，最多減100蚊，滴滴出行，抵啲快啲，急。
E via 2-5-1 is If I Found. The intro of If I Found is in the key of D flat major, but as we approach the opening verse of the song, we get this 2-5-1 in the key of D major, smoothly modulating as an upper semitone. Summer in the City by the Loving Spoonful also uses a 2-5-1 to modulate. The chorus of Summer in the City starts in F major. However, halfway through it starts to pivot back and forth between the chords of D minor and G. On the fourth occasion that it does this, these two chords wind up actually serving as the 2 and 5 chords for the verses key of C minor. So this is like a dragged out 2-5-1, where we kept moving back and forth between 2 and 5 before finally modulating to the new key. And this is the beauty of 2-5-1s. They are so good at creating smooth modulations because they effectively serve as pivot chords. For example, here, when the D minor and G chords are first introduced, we are squarely in the key of F major, so we hear these two chords as the 6th chord of the key and the major 2nd chord of the key. But then when we jump to C minor here for the second verse, these very same D minor and G chords are now also acting as the 2 and 5 chords in the new destination key. So they're effectively serving two functions at once, both in the current key and the destination key. Sunshine of My Life by Stevie Wonder opens in the key of B major, however shifts to the key of A flat major for the middle 8, and it achieves this by, surprise surprise, a 2-5-1. Then at the end of the middle 8, we modulate back to the original key of B major with, once again, a 2-5-1. Now, 2-5-1s are closely associated with jazz. Many jazz tunes navigate through a variety of keys using a variety of 2-5-1s. Satin Doll's A section explores the key of C major. But then when the B section arrives, we get this 2-5-1 progression in the key of F major, shifting us temporarily away from the key of C major and to the key of F major. This makes the music feel like it's ventured off into a new realm. It gives the B section its own distinct character. And the both legendary and infamous jazz standard Giant Steps by John Coltrane uses a torrent of 2-5-1s in different keys to take us on a dizzying journey around various key centers. also often see 251s used as turnarounds. A turnaround is a short chord change used to prepare us to return to the beginning of the form, the beginning of a section. You'll see them a lot on jazz charts, a few chords at the end of the form in brackets. This is the turnaround, an optional chord change which you can use if you want to go back to the top of the form. That's why they're in brackets, because it's optional. If you were actually going to end the tune there, you wouldn't play the 251, but if you do want to go back to the top, the 251 will deliver you there neatly and smoothly. So after all of this talk about how 251s are amazing for changing key, you might be thinking, well, what actually is it about a 251 that makes it so good for changing key? What is it about this progression of chords that means that the final chord, the 1, sounds like our new tonic chord? Well, most of the heavy lifting in a 251 is done by the 5 chord. Generally speaking, the best way to resolve onto another chord is by using the chord that's built on the 5th degree of that destination chord. In other words, via a perfect cadence. So, for example, if we were in the key of C major, like this passage here, this passage is in C major, and then we wanted to modulate to E flat major, the simplest and most direct way we could do that is by using the 5th degree chord of E flat major, which is B flat. And particularly if we put a dominant 7th on that B flat chord, it's going to be a very efficient way to move from C major to E flat. You can hear now that the E flat chord sounds like the tonic chord. It sounds like it could be our new point of rest. The dominant chord built on the 5th degree of our destination key is such a good chord for resolving onto that destination because it contains an unstable tritone interval between these two notes, which naturally wants to resolve onto that destination chord. It's this tritone which collapses into the new tonic chord, which is effectively the engine that drives a perfect cadence. So moving 5 to 1, moving in a perfect cadence, is a great way to move our tonal focus onto the destination chord, making that chord that we land on, in this case E flat, sound like our new tonic chord. So what's the 2 doing here? Why do we need a 2-5-1? Well, the 2 is here effectively to smooth out this change. Although B flat 7 here moving to E flat is all we technically need to make the modulation happen, it can be a fairly stark jump, it's quite sudden. So the presence of the 2 chord eases us in to this key change. The 2 chord introduces some of the notes of the new destination key before the perfect cadence happens. So the modulation sort of begins here with the 2 chord, and then it's hit home by the 5 chord, resolving to the 1. Also, as we discussed in my recent video on the circle of fifths, because our 2 chord is a 5th away from the 5 chord, and the 5 chord is a 5th away from the 1 chord, all 3 of these chords fold into each other in a very effective, efficient way, because the perfect 5th, as we discussed in that video, is the smoothest and most pleasing interval we can have. Now, 251s are most commonly used for changing key, but you could use a 251 without actually changing key. One usage of 251s that doesn't really change our key center is when the 251 are used just to reaffirm the key that we're currently in. We might do this to provide a nice clear conclusion to a chord progression, making it abundantly clear where the key center is. For example, at the end of the verse of You Never Give Me Your Money by the Beatles, we get this 251 in the key of A minor. The song is already in the key of A minor.
Q 版萌系卡朋这首歌手游来了，随机技能搭配加策略布阵，每一局都是全新挑战。
In the key of A minor, but by using a A minor 251 at the end, it provides a nice, clean, satisfying resolution to the chord progression. And another usage of 251s, which isn't a modulation, is when a 251 is just used as a chord loop, like any other chord progression. For example, the verse of Sunday
Minor 9, Major 13, and Major 9.
In the key of C major, it just treats it as a standard chord loop. 251, along with the nice chord extensions here, gives the song a jazzy sound, but without the various modulations that you would typically find in a jazz tune. As I mentioned at the beginning, the reason that people talk about 251 so much, the reason they're so interesting, is that a super efficient way of changing key. It doesn't matter which key we're currently in or which key we want to arrive in, all we have to do is play those 3 chords, 2, 5 and 1, and we've now arrived in that new key. So to wrap this video up, what I want to do is I'm going to improvise here at the keyboard. And then I'm going to use 251s to travel through all 12 key centers, arriving again at the end in the key of C. And hopefully what you'll find is as we travel through each key, it's fairly seamless where one key ends and the next begins, because 251s just bridge that gap between the two. Let's get started. So as I said, starting in the key of C, traveling through all 12 key centers. Us back in the key of C. So some changes are starker, some changes aren't, but that really just came down to which 2 keys I move between. Some keys will sound smoother, some keys won't, depending on how distant they are to each other, how unrelated they are. But regardless, the 251 is always going to provide the smoothest way to change key.
Hello there, this is DBT and this is Art of Runes. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends. And today, I'm gonna be doing a bit of a quick test of every one of the new cars added in the game in the latest update, as well as playing in the newer map, which is obviously what you see on the screen right now. And that's of course San Diego Harbor. And I do want to delve a little bit into the peculiarities with the teleporters in the map. But before I jump into it, if you enjoy my content, you know what to do. Hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. I ask you to do this because it helps the channel to continue to grow. It makes YouTube to suggest this to more people, and in that way, I can continue making this content for you. So if you want some more Asphalt Legends, go ahead, like, and subscribe. But alright, so first I'm just doing a little bit of a drive-through in, again, the new map, San Diego Harbor, because, well, you have seen it in the previews that Game of posted about it, and I think it's a very cool idea of the map, though it does have some very strange things when it comes to the teleporters. Now, we know that this map is going to have 6 variants in total, which are going to be 3 with teleporters and 3 without teleporters. So one is just going to be the usual San Diego Harbor, as we kind of saw it in Asphalt 8, and the other ones are going to be like this one with the maps going through this place that I always forget where it is, and you know, some Cairo and all of that stuff, right? Now, I did mention that I want to talk a tiny bit about the teleporters because they do have a bit of a peculiar behavior to them, and that is specifically the angle and direction in which you take them. But we're gonna get more into it a little bit later. For now, let's jump into testing some of these, not some, all of these new cars. I'm gonna be doing 2 races with each, and I'll put some timestamps in the video so that you can jump to whichever you're most interested about, and also a different timestamp to talk about the teleporters. And we're gonna be going in order of the classes for these cars. So we're starting with the DS Servolt, and I'm gonna show you real quick. Well, we have already seen the stats, but what I want to show you is the color options available for the default ones, which are kind of cool. It's basically the car all in black, but with different colors of accents, so I think that's pretty cool. But that is the default one. Eventually, I should be able to paint it with proper colors, but I don't own it yet. Now, kind of like I figured out when I was looking at the stats in the video of the patch notes and all of that, I did say that the stats didn't seem to make much sense with the rank that it had, unless this car did have a perfect nitro boost. And guess what we have found out? It does have perfect nitro. Now, I'm gonna let you hear a little bit the engine sound, though in this case being an electric, well, not much to listen to, but there it is. I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about that sound, but hey, just wanted you to listen to it. Now, like I said, this does have perfect nitro boost, and that is the main power of this car, despite it being, again, like I mentioned in that video, a bit of a low-class C car, but look at that, 321 well, while with regular nitro goes at 304. So yeah, that is kind of the idea, and given that this car doesn't have absolutely terrible nitro, that's kind of dope. It drops a little bit on the wide side. In general, I'm not going to say that it's an amazing car, but given that it's going to be a free car in the Drive Syndicate, as it normally is the case with the first cars with DSs, DSs is standing for Drive Syndicate, not DS Servolt. Yeah, no, at least, hey, it's a nice car to get, so why not? And again, for the nostalgia value, it's kind of enjoyable. But yeah, overall, I'm not going to say that this is an absolutely amazing car or anything in terms of the performance, but man, do I like how it looks, and can't wait to have it unlocked at more stars so that I can play with the colors and whatnot. But there you have it. Now I changed the color to the yellow accents because, hey, might as well, right? Some variety over here. But okay, here we go into San Diego Harbor. Now, I'm driving in the version, basically as a content creator, we have 2 available versions to test this track. One with AI and one without AI. I'm doing this one without AI because, well, the AI is a little bit more powerful than this car, and it can get a little bit too much on the way for me to show you what I want to show you. So, hey, for this car, we're doing this way. But yeah, so San Diego Harbor, very peculiar car. It's a very peculiar car. Well done, DBT. San Diego Harbor, a very known car brand. Very peculiar map. I have said it before, I'm not in love with the color scheme for this, but I'm starting to think that they did it so that you would see the clash between gray and boom.
第一生意非常之差，再咁落去好入門。我有幾個同學想睇睇大佢。第一個選擇就係揾一啲 international 嘅。
車出軌，車門甩脱，車卡分成兩截。港鐵今晨發生極嚴重事故，係近年首次有載人列車出軌嘅意外。
咁呢個12卡車，呢度有3卡，呢度有3卡，呢度有6卡。啊，呢6卡同埋呢3卡都喺路軌上高，呢3卡咧就係偏離咗路軌嘅。
事後發現路軌出現裂痕，係咪真正出事嘅原因？
鐵路嘅運行係一個非常之精密嘅組件嚟嘅，任何一個外物咧，無論佢嘅大小，佢都可能會引致一個鐵路嘅事故。
事發係早上8點半左右，一架東鐵嘅列車駛往紅磡站嘅途中出軌。事發後，乘客雖然被嚇到，但係依然保持冷靜同埋秩序，一個跟住一個離開車廂。眼見車廂離地面都幾高，不過大家都互相幫助，扶實對方，甚至用膠桶當樓梯離開車廂。然後再沿住路軌步行往紅磡站。現場疏散咗400名乘客，有8名嘅傷者，其中1男4女送院，1男2女無需送院。傷者分別係肩頸不適以及手部擦傷。事發嘅列車係一架12卡嘅列車，駛入1號月台嘅時候，第4、第5同埋第6卡出軌，第4同埋第5卡嘅列車仲分開埋添，接駁位斷開，部分嘅零件仲甩埋。其中1卡出軌嘅列車仲撞到信號燈，門都差啲撞到飛出嚟。列車服務受阻，唔少坐火車嘅乘客都需要退票，甚至更改行程。
This one. Now they are telling you that is that cancel or is it?
Yeah, they said it's cancel.
12点多的。12点23，他們退我票。
過關同埋即係話再等車啊，搭懷後上啦。
咁啱啱就退翻張飛㗎啦，可以。
退翻啦，佢哋要俾埋張飛過去到咩啊？去到羅湖㗎啦。
鐵路系統係香港市民經常使用嘅交通工具之一，出軌意外令到唔少嘅市民感到震驚。
其實都幾恐怖下咯，真係都冇諗過會咁樣咯，覺得港鐵唔夠。
大家好啊，歡迎收睇今集嘅的士駕駛報告啊！咁今日咧係星期日嚟嘅，一開工咧就有少少肚餓啊，咁啊又買咗個早餐食啦，咁啊順便喺度排下站啦，一邊排站一邊去食早餐，咁啊食完早餐我再 set 翻我架車啲嘢咁樣啦嚇。好啦，咁而家大致上係咁樣啦，喺度大學道 M 記呢個位排下站先啦，咁就呢個站啊，前一集咧我都有去排過呢個站咧，係朝頭早清晨時分。咁嗰一次咧就基本上係等咗45分鐘啊，等咗勁耐先起到步啊。咁但係今日咧可能會好啲嘅，今日星期日我諗會好少少嘅嚇。好啦，咁好快而家就上到頭位啦，咁我都差唔多咧食完我個早餐啦，咁我再俾多少少耐性去等啦。其實我後面咧都排咗4、5架車㗎啦。其實我呢次應該係大概咧等咗大概15至20分鐘左右啦，咁我仲一邊喺度食早餐，善用啲時間添。 咁上下，其實應該就差唔多咧上客㗎啦。過多少少時間之後，好啦，咁我而家咧就上客大學到 M 記去呢個長雲村啊。咁就我有問個客嘅，喂，行楊屋道定係大涌道之後上翻？
Every time this baby hears this song in his baby book, he cries.
Sua piranha safada.
No stopping. Number 1, which sign has road narrows on the right?
Of course, 1.
Number 1, what does this sign mean? A, dual carriageway ends, or B, crossroads?
Wait, that is 2 carriageway ends.
Carriageway ends. Which sign is two-way traffic straight ahead?
2. But what is on the sides?
What does this sign mean? A, maximum speed is 40, or B, minimum speed is 40?
That's maximum speed, not minimum speed. It is minimum speed, that is in the highway.
Maximum speed is 40. Which sign is no entry?
Of course, 2 or 3.
Number 2. What does this sign mean? A, no.
Oh wait, no U-turn.
Turn, or B, no U-turn.
No U-turns.
No U-turn. How many mistakes did you make? 5 car gadgets that will completely change your driving experience, not just because they look cool. Let's start with Bluetooth tire pressure monitors. These small sensors give you real-time updates on your tire condition right on your phone. If a slow leak or low pressure happens, you'll know before it turns into a dangerous blowout. Next up, a heads-up display. Instead of glancing down at your dashboard, this device projects speed, navigation, and even calls directly onto your windshield, just like in a fighter jet. Many models easily connect via your phone or OBD2K. Third on the list, a smart dash cam. The latest versions don't just record accidents, they detect collisions and can upload footage to the cloud instantly. Now, the wireless CarPlay or Android Auto adapter. If your car requires a cable for CarPlay, this tiny gadget makes it completely wireless. Just plug it in once and forget the wires forever. And finally, a smart car track. Plug it into your OBD2 port and monitor your car's location, battery status, and even driving habits straight from your phone. 5 car gadgets.
相信美军80年前的单兵口粮竟然这般好吃。尽管罐头锈迹斑斑，但里面的食物却完好无损。我们的战士还在吃草根树皮，他们竟然吃上了用来清新口气的口香糖，而这些硬糖果的珍贵程度更是不必多说，它能为士兵的身体提供大量的热量，关键时候不亚于救命燃料。更让人惊掉下巴的是，他们当时喝的纯净水都是罐装的，经过 pH 值测试后显示在最适合饮用的6.5。将水倒入杯中，依旧清澈透亮。接着再来打开一个蛋糕罐头，糕点的大小几乎跟罐头完全贴合，这意味着蛋糕在颠簸中也不会破损。80多年后的今天，蛋糕已经发黑变色，看来是无法食用了。最后再来拆一个大号饼干罐头，为了保持干燥，还用铝箔片做了2次密封处理。揭开上面的防压层和油膜纸，发现其中的一块饼干还安装了把手，饼干完好如初且散发出淡的清香。
Or maybe that is for the classic for oat fruits that never expire, including that cake.
开局3选1，我推荐选水哥，因为他的必杀技可以全秒怪。不过如果你
Hey everyone, this is going to be another video on opening decades-old canned foods. All the cans you see here are from the 1960s, except the bananas. They might be from the late 50s. I'm going to start off with this can of bananas. This one's in pretty rough shape, but I'm going to show it anyways. The other can of bananas is exactly the same, but the graphics are much better on the other can. Let me show that one. Banana flakes. Pure tree ripened hydrated bananas. Dehydrated bananas. Made in Brazil. For babies between 1 and 3 months. So this is a kind of baby food. This container's in great condition, super shiny. Next container here is black-eyed peas. Packed from fresh green.
Peonas.
Copyright 1963, so this means they could be as old as 1963 or a few years newer. Got a lot of rust on the container, but it is not punctured. If you can see, there's a slight bulge. So that means the product is probably rotten. Something caused it to bulge. We'll see later. The next thing is Martindale brand. Small, whole, white potatoes. 1 pound. 4 servings. Can's in pretty good condition. The bottom is super shiny. The top, that's just surface rust, nothing serious. No bulging to the can at all. And the last container is Campbell's condensed onion soup made with beef stock. 10.5 ounces. I went looking for this can in the store, and I don't think they make it anymore because I wanted to compare the ingredients. They do make onion soup, but not the exact same kind. This can... close-up look at this container.
The Biscuit 1920s.
Good shape for its age. The container is very waxy feeling. It's made in New York City.
For the employees. Covered by Max. It's fine.
spicy is it gonna be? I've given these to a few people already. I bought a whole ton of them when I was down in Florida. Found this in a gift shop. Bought it for $2.90. Extremely spicy. It even says on the side of it, not intended for children. It's very, very spicy. I'll give you guys a close look at the packaging. Then we're gonna try this thing out. So it's supposed to be a very, very spicy candy bar. How spicy exactly, I'm not sure. I don't have the best tolerance to spice, but I do like a little spice. I don't really like spice in my candy. I wasn't a big fan of spicy candy. I was when I eat a bunch of Mexican candy. I do like some of the Mexican candy, not the spiciest. So, I like this. I don't know. I didn't try them. It was interesting, so I bought a few of them. When I cut it with scissors on the side, I kind of like
I have tried bear spray before. I tapped a little bit on my tongue from the trigger because from the factory it looks like a little bit was coming out. That was the worst spice I've ever had in my life. Drinking those for a half an hour straight. Even worse than the ghost pepper I had. That bear spray was awful. But this is a very close second. It's not as spicy as a ghost pepper. Definitely not. But it's close. I don't know if I can have the whole thing, but I better do it for the video. People don't want to. Anyone who's ever tried bear spray or even pepper spray, I've tried pepper spray on potato chips. Kind of good. Compared to those, not that bad. But the color is making my face turn a little red. This is definitely in the top 5 spiciest things that I've had in my life. A lot more spicy than the Mexican candy burrito did. By at least 20 times. This is strong. This is up there with pepper spray. Even
slow, which is perfect. Yeah, here we go. But that made a brief mushroom cloud. I wish that was on camera. It doesn't look like it did anything to the bread. It wasn't explosive at all. It just blew the top off. That was pretty cool. I want you guys to see what it did in the sky. We can actually literally reload this and do it again. I actually expected it to have enough power to go boom, but guess not. Maybe this time we put a bomb on top of it so it can't open. Tip over, maybe a smaller rock. And I got my lighter, yep. Than the first one, oh look at that. The rock missed the plate. I thought the rock maybe would have fallen and broke my plate. I thought the rock maybe would have fallen and broke my plate, but it did not, thankfully. I love this plate. And look, it did actually rupture. It did blow it apart. So yes, we did successfully do what I tried to do. And the rest of this, let's go feed this to someone very deserving.
指定旅遊網站入邊過千航班換得、淡季用得、正特價都得，唔限制㗎。
旅行用埋 Travelers 仲賺全城最高7%加分多回贈，
加分多，橫使掂使都咁好睇。而家到8月中，用恒生信用卡賺額外高達2900蚊加分多，立即登記。
借定唔借？
還得到先好借。
全新舒適達科研級亮白抗敏牙膏。 5大臨床實證係專為敏感牙齒研發嘅美白牙膏，有效舒緩牙齒敏感鼻痛症狀。同時實驗比對證明有效換白去跡。反覆染色測試結果亦顯示能鎖白防跡24小時，長效抗敏換白保護。舒適達專業抗敏拋光換白 No.1 牙醫推薦。
Deserving. That's right, it's the toilet. Who guessed it? Alright. Now, it may have to soften up,
but I don't think it's going to be able to take these hard chunks. Maybe it will. Wow, the bread is still warm from the oven. It feels like it's getting gooey now that it's cooling down. I'm breaking up with my hands to make sure. I removed all the wooden sticks. That's one dirty plate. Look at that. That's one of the dirtiest we ever had. 1, 2, 3. It actually took it in one. Awesome. Let's spit up a little bit. 3. 3. Alright, let's do another flush just to make sure it's got clearance all the way to the septic tank that's gonna start eating it. It's so hot out. I was only out there for maybe 10 minutes filming that stuff and I'm already sweating. I guess I'm not dressed the right way either for the heat. The smell of wet, soggy fireworks is not pleasant. We'll let that soak for a while also. We'll let the dishwasher figure out the rest of that. Been soaking now over an hour. Oh, look at that. It's almost all of that. A quick rinse. Should probably let it soak again. Then we're going to stir them in. Usually they hold up pretty well because of them being a dry product. Sometimes they're dehydrated, still holds up pretty good. Like I did scrambled eggs over on my shelf right there. That, I think it's still a nutritional value, but it's kind of advanced. So, I'm going to open up the big box and I'll show you what we got inside. Inside, we are going to find 6 identical cans, just like this one over here. It says textured vegetable protein, hamburger protein. So basically, that's saying it's basically fake meat, right? Like in a pasta protein, that's fake meat, right?
Spice extract, essential oils, yeast extract, and caramel color. So, at least it's not that much. Now, it's still pretty simple. Alright, so I'm going to give you a nice up-close look at the packaging here. So, this is the outside of the box. This is the underside of the box. It's in very good condition. The reason that these are usually in such good condition is because they were kept inside of some storage facility or some kind of bomb shelter. Just not being touched all these decades in a nice sealed environment. So inside of here we have 6 of these identical cans, as you can see here. It comes with one lid that's the safe. If you're going through an emergency, you can only have one of them open at a time, you know. Even if you use multiple, you're only going to have one left over. This is so you can seal it up so you can dry powder, and it can go on a while longer. It doesn't say anything about how long it'll last once open, but you know, it's a dry product, and if you're using this, it's probably an emergency, and you use your best judgment. Look at how beautiful these cans really are. They're like a work of art. They're extremely pretty. They've got some nice bright colors from the 70s. Fresh to chicken. So, the top, well, I got a little bit of writing on it. The back of it here is how we're going to make it, preparation. We're going to soak it. Oh, that's an abbreviation. Textured vegetable protein, that's what that meant. That's the abbreviation of it. And equal amounts of water, so we don't need a measuring cup, you know. And then we'll drain whatever's left over, and we'll use it in place of ground meat. What do you guys think? Will I actually be able to like form it into a hamburger patty? Well, I'm gonna try. If I'm able to make it into like a hamburger patty, I'm gonna try making burgers with this. I'm actually gonna eat it. Do I have hamburger buns? I don't think so. I'm gonna have to run to the store mid-video and do this. If it works out. So, that is what we're gonna try doing today. So we're gonna open this snack now. And these cans are very beautiful. These will make a good display item. So let's open it from the bottom so they look like it's still sealed. And it's awesome. We got a lot of these things. Maybe we can do other experiments with them in the future, other recipes if it comes out well. So, it being so old, I doubt it's going to taste the same, but it's a dry product, so it's not even cooked, so I think it'll be fairly safe, I guess, to give it a taste test once we're done with it. You see over here, if we zoom in onto this shelf over here, those are other Nest products we've tried over the years. I may have tried more than just those 3, I'm not sure. Macaroni and cheese and scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs is a powder, but it actually cooked up and it's scrambled into the consistency of an egg. It actually worked, although it lost most of its flavor. That was all. 开除3选1，我推荐生水橙，因为它的易杀技有全天然的。不过，如果你不小心选火腿兔也还行，它的智能火焰拳可以一拳打死一只小怪，不过前期问题不大。但选了水哥就懂了，水哥的技能水人掌，每升1级就会增加2倍子弹，这让我们每次升级技能的时候都显得等级升到最高，会发射无数波涛弹打死小怪，同时会有打击之潮出现，所到之处全军湮灭，全体秒断，跟开挂一样夸张，轻轻松松就能打得棒棒棒。 take it off really easily to clean it instead of the way I've been doing it. So I'm gonna do a lot of pressure, so it's a drop dry, probably not over. Here we go.
Terusan.
First very dry day up here, nice and pleasant. And full forecast is lower 70s. It's really nice after some hot weather. And so look, now it's wet, it doesn't smell as pleasant, but it did smell. It's not that bad actually. Really close. It's not that bad. It smells like very bland broth. So if this is made out of vegetables, I wonder what they put in it that is making it smell like meat. And this is like the original Impossible Burger. Now, I got it mixed around all wet. It's going to keep absorbing apparently. It tells me now to wash it away for 15 minutes, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. It is exactly 2:30, which makes it extremely easy. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Alright, everybody, it's been exactly 15 minutes now. Let's see how this consistency has turned out. Look at that. There's really nothing to drain. It's more moist at the bottom, but I think if I mix it a little bit and let it sit a little bit longer, it'll do well. Now, do I think it's going to connect into a hamburger patty? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to actually put my hands in here and give it a try. But in the
佢啲做出冇擺喺圖下邊。
On a grill. I don't think it is, without making a mess. So what I might do is, I might get like maybe fresh bacon to make it food away. Straight onto the grill. What do you guys think? Is that gonna work? It's pretty freezer. Alright, we're gonna go and put this now into the refrigerator. Leave it in here for a bit. Alright, so I'm bored while I'm waiting about 2 hours for the stuff in the freezer. So I'm thinking, what do I have in the cabinet? Do I have any Sloppy Joe stuff? Because I think that would actually cover up any nasty taste from it being old. So here, I got some off-brand Sloppy Joe, and I got some name brand back here, so we're going to use this right now. Alright, so here we go. Put a good amount of it in there. That looks like enough. Turn the burner on, wait for that to heat. So I was planning on being gone for a while, and I always shut the appliances off. The stove wasn't even on. It took me like almost 5 minutes to figure it out. It wasn't turning on. Kind of looks like mushy brown rice.
So this is making the room smell like I'm making soup. I mentioned that it smells just like broth, and it absolutely does. It makes the whole room smell like broth. So before I put the sloppy Joe sauce in there, I let this heat up and crisp up a teeny bit, almost 10 minutes.
Hello，聽唔聽到？做鬼咩？原來你今日喺 cafe 做嘢。
而家梗係揀 hybrid working 啦，點管我仲運喺 office 做嘢咧？所以話用 Jobs DB。Update 好 profile 就自動幫我分析配對 match 啱順工。我而家就係彈性上班節位，無論白領藍領，照樣 match 到，咩三心水有計，人人係順工之鬼。記得同我做下集主角 Jobs DB by Seek。
Because it's not actually meat, we don't actually have to, cook it thoroughly, I don't think. But now I'm going to let this probably go for quite a while as well, to get rid of most of this moisture and let it firm up a little bit. It actually doesn't look half that bad at this point. And the sloppy Joe sauce, I think, is now going to permeate into everything and kind of cover up anything. So other than the texture, it might be unnoticeable what we're actually eating. I'm going to step over here every couple of minutes. Mixing. Alright, so this has been going since I had it.
唔好打我張桌墊咗話我話俾你聽啊！我當我張墊咗係玩具咁樣啪啪啪啪啪啪啪啪。Navigation trail. That's a trail. Century is eight blueprints. Very epic K is 5 blueprints. And Volcano Titanium some blueprints. Today's a tutorial.
I don't think it's gonna ever hold together even though they're frozen here now. I don't think it will hold together because usually what puts a pad is the glue. So I don't think they're gonna cook well at all in the first place. We're gonna get this out of here now. We're gonna make about 2.5 hours. That was good enough. Should be ready to go in about 20 minutes or so. To get them out of the moves. Alright, so time to start with this.
邊個貸款咧？就住輕鬆啲。息減多文，即刻好 smart！ 只用全新多能 Promise 流動應用程式，24/7無間極速批核，任何時候一
that would have been a way to do it. Alright everybody, it's been like 2 minutes. We're gonna put the cover on for now, and we will go ahead and see what it looks like in just a little bit. Alright everybody, it's been maybe 10 minutes, and it actually held its shape. But should we try to flip it yet? I don't know. The real hamburger patties are just about ready to flip. They'll be done soon. But what about this? It's probably defrosted, but can I touch it? It seems like freezing it may have helped it out. I guess we're gonna try flipping it very carefully. No. We'll keep it cooking though. Maybe the flavoring of this will go into that, and maybe we'll get something out of it. Let it go for like another 10-15 minutes. The other ones will be done in like 5, but I'll pull that off later and maybe back in. 掰开时还能听到。
This is my friend's game account. He set the outfit and the grade, all on a casino machine. I don't believe it. Choose a heroine to begin with. Hey, casino machine in the first place. What kind of good stuff can you blow up with this casino machine? What? I can't believe I actually got the equipment, but they're all blue. Turn it on again. Ah! It's a real artifact, and a perfect artifact. Direct power boost of 2 million. Extra gear can be broken down. Decomposition also gives you experience points. It's like 100 levels and 4 spins.
各位網友早晨啊，我係鄺俊宇。今日係2025年7月27號禮拜日啊。今次同各位網友一齊講講香港各大最新嘅時事熱話。咁啊，先講講尋晚呢個土瓜灣嘅益豐大廈呢，好慘喎！據報呢係發生咗大停電㗎。咁啊，現場情況如何嘅呢？同各位一齊講講。咁啊，另邊廂亦都講講熱話喎。咁啊，據報有個網民呢就話呢，佢有個妹呢係患有濕疹㗎。咁啊，見工嘅時間竟然遭到歧視啊！咁啊，據報相關嘅餐廳呢係要回應嘅喎，係點樣嘅熱話呢？同各位一齊整理一下。講落去之前記得撳訂閱，免費訂閱鄺俊宇嘅頻道，睇廣告越長係對鄺仔最大嘅支持啊！衷心多謝各位老友記。事不宜遲，先睇睇呢一則最新消息。根據 HK 嘅最新報導，土瓜灣益豐大廈大停電啦。咁啊，疑似因為爆水管，咁啊滲水入電錶房㗎。咁啊，4棟大廈幾百戶居民啦，尋晚係冇電過夜㗎。咁啊，內文提到啦，土瓜灣益豐大廈大停電啦，幾百戶人呢就估計冇電過夜㗎。尋日7月26號晏晝4點57分，土瓜灣道239號益豐大廈保安員報警，話懷疑因為爆水管。咁啊滲水入去電錶房間，導致電錶冒煙同埋出現火花。咁啊大廈呢隨即停電㗎。消防員到場過後，未見有煙或者火㗎。由於擔心漏電啊，咁啊中電呢係關咗電掣同埋進行檢查㗎。咁啊記者尋晚9點幾，咁啊以街坊身份致電管理處查詢幾時會恢復供電㗎。咁啊，接線職員就話唔知喎，又提到發電泵亦都損毀咗。咁啊，依家係冇維修時間表㗎。受到事件影響咁啊，益豐大廈4座大樓啦都係冇電力供應㗎。 當中有讀者施先生向01表示啊，佢嘅外公同埋外婆咧係居住於上址㗎。由尋日晏晝4點幾停電至尋晚啊，都係未恢復供電㗎。據知係電錶燒毀所致。佢向 A 座管理處查詢㗎，批評接線職員態度惡劣同埋敷衍，只係話咧尋日之內咧係冇辦法完成維修，咁啊今日啊先至會有維修人員處理㗎，咁啊亦都未能夠確實完成維修嘅時間，咁啊叫住戶咧到朋友嘅屋企暫住，又或者到咧社區中心避暑過夜㗎。咁啊另外跟進消息咧就講到啊，呢個益豐大樓停電，居民咧係要撤離㗎，當中有長者啊需要他人咧係孭落樓㗎。咁啊據報紅磡社區會堂爆滿喎。另外咪提到啦，咁啊酷熱天氣之下，居民咧係冇電咁樣過夜㗎。當區開放咗紅磡同埋啟德兩個嘅社區會堂啦，係俾居民入住㗎。另一個記者尋晚到場了解，咁啊只見咧全座嘅益豐大廈一片漆黑，大批居民咧係陸續撤離㗎。部分人乘坐咧警方安排嘅小巴，咁啊到社區會堂，咁亦都有人選擇咧到親友嘅屋企暫住。有行動不便嘅長者係要由他人啊孭落樓㗎。到夜晚10點幾啊，紅磡社區會堂就已經爆滿啦。咁啊，如果再有居民咧係諗住入住咧社區會堂，係要前往啟德社區會堂啦。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，咁啊據報尋晚漏夜咧，益豐大廈咧全棟樓都係冇電㗎，咁啊居民最終咧大部分都要撤離啊，咁啊甚至咧係逼爆咗紅磡社區會堂㗎，咁要開埋啟德社區會堂啦。咁啊另外根據最新消息咧，維修人員啊喺今日先能夠開始維修㗎，都未知能否維修得到啊。咁啊現場講緊啦係幾百戶居民喎。咁啊，估計人數啊都有近1000人㗎。咁啊，依家唯有咧就等待咧維修啊。如果唔係嘅話咧，都驚呢個情況咧會橫跨埋今日即係禮拜日嘅夜晚㗎喎。咁啊，另一邊廂亦都講講本地消息。根據傳媒嘅報導啊，大埔廣福村天降腐蝕性液體㗎。咁啊，夫婦被剪傷送醫院啊。內文提到，咁啊，尋日7月20號晏晝1點11分，一對夫婦報警啦，喺大埔廣福村本村嘅街有疑似腐蝕性液體從高處墮下，佢哋被剪中受傷㗎。警方接報到場，發現36歲姓胡嘅丈夫嘅臉、面、頸、手腳都受傷，34歲姓李嘅妻子手腳亦都受傷。救護員咧隨即將兩人啊送往大埔牙打素醫院治理，然後警方刑事調查隊同埋大批機動部隊人員到場調查同埋搜證㗎，在場檢獲一個咧膠樽嘅碎片，咁啊案件交咗俾警方跟進㗎。初步發現啦係一支通渠水樽從高處墮至地面並爆開，咁啊剪中咗呢一對嘅夫婦㗎。咁啊警方正調查從高處墮下，但未有證據證明事件呢係故意，暫時冇人被捕㗎。今日據了解，案發位置呢係冇閉路電視覆蓋㗎。咁啊，警方初步調查過後呢，認為呢個膠樽比較陳舊，係有使用嘅痕跡㗎。相信並非有人蓄意所為，暫時未有人被捕啊。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，咁啊據報咧天降腐蝕性液體啊，咁有一對咧途經嘅夫婦咧係中招㗎，咁啊送院救治當中，但係暫時未知道邊個單位咧係掉咗一支嘅工具水落街㗎，咁啊另一邊廂咧案件調查當中。咁另外咧亦都講呢個熱話喎，根據 AM 新聞嘅報導啊，網民就話啦，患有濕疹嘅妹咧見工嘅時間遭到歧視㗎。咁啊爭鮮壽司就話咧，一直推動平等就業機會啊，係會嚴肅跟進咁話喎。咁啊內文就提到啦，呢一位嘅網友咧日前喺社交平台 Facebook 上咧係發帖文㗎，就話警世啊，近日原本喺油麻地爭鮮咧見工㗎。因為患有濕疹而遭受到歧視啊！網友表示，佢個妹妹喺電話聯絡爭鮮店方嘅時間，就已經坦誠提到
佢哋㗎。不過佢前往現場填寫完申請表過後，就被一個當年女職員以警署嘅眼光詢問，就話你有確診㗎喎，我哋係唔會睬你㗎。又指對方奇蹟啊，一手將申請表咧係即場撕爛㗎，以不友善嘅態度表示公司注重衞生，將不會聘用佢喎。
6. So I have 2 left at the kingdom.
以上嚟自 AM730嘅報導，咁啊據報咧，首先日前捲入食安嘅風波，就係講緊爭鮮嗰啲嘅壽司就俾人捉到擺喺街外邊室溫16個鐘頭，咁啊話口未完咧，就再到呢一單，就話説有人患有濕疹走去見工，結果咧就俾人搶走咗個應徵表格，當場撕爛，喂有冇搞鬼錯？咁啊據報咧，事主嘅哥哥咧就好嬲將呢個情況寫上網㗎。咁啊事件咧亦都有爭鮮嗰邊嘅正面回應喎。咁啊唔知各位網友點睇咧？不妨留個言傾下偈。咁啊另邊廂亦都講講本地消息，根據 HK 嘅報道香港仔華富村女子咧係捱旅遊巴士撞，咁啊心口痛送院啊。內文提到香港仔發生交通意外，咁啊，尋日7月26號傍晚近6點半鐘，警方接報一個女子喺華富道23號近華富1嘅商場對開，係被旅遊巴士撞到。救護員趕至㗎，發現女事主倒卧於馬路中心，好彩仍然清醒，就報稱感到心口痛㗎，於是將佢送往瑪麗醫院治理。據了解，事發嘅時間，50歲姓馮嘅男司機駕駛旅遊巴士沿華富道北行㗎，駛至近瀑布灣道嘅時間，56歲姓李嘅女事主過路旅遊巴士收掣不及，將佢撞到。另外亦都講呢個消息根據 HK 嘅報道石圍角村嘅單位傳嚟異味消防員破門㗎，揭發45歲嘅男子倒斃於屋內內文提到啦，尋日7月26號上晝11點37分，警方接獲報警㗎，荃灣石圍角村石方樓一個單位傳出異味咁啊，警員接報到場過後由消防員破門進入，發現一個45歲姓黃嘅男子倒卧於客廳嘅地上，經檢驗證實當場死亡㗎。咁啊，警方喺現場冇檢獲遺書，死因有待驗屍過後確定㗎。咁啊，案件列屍體發現調查。據了解，事主係患有精神病嘅記錄㗎。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，願死者安息咁啊，據報暫時死因未明㗎，咁啊未知道佢點解死咗，只係知道佢係有精神病記錄㗎。咁啊，案件有待調查咁啊，另外亦都講呢個熱話根據 HK 嘅報道咁啊，港鐵車廂有6個乘客排坐咗喺地上面㗎。咁啊，網友斥討厭咁我話違反附例咁啊，原來咁樣坐嘅話每人可以罰幾多錢呢？內文提到啦，乘坐港鐵嘅時間記得要留意乘車規定㗎。近日有網友發帖文公審，就話喺車廂裏面見到有6個乘客排坐靠牆咁樣坐咗喺車廂嘅地上。唔少網友睇完照片過後都認為車廂本來就已經非常之逼㗎啦，仲有人咁樣坐喺地上既會阻礙他人咁而且極不衛生，所以鬧爆真係超級討厭咁亦都有人話啦，喺港鐵車廂裏邊係有警示嘅提醒乘客唔好坐在地上否則會被罰錢㗎。並建議事主通知職員，就話淨係望呢度已經12000蚊嘅咯因為講緊原來每人最多可以罰2000蚊㗎。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，咁啊近日嘅地鐵奇景，咁啊據報事主就話有冇搞錯霸住啲位咁樣，不過事主就淨係影咗相公審啫，咁啊放咗上網，咁啊網友提醒其實有警示講到喺港鐵係唔可以咁樣坐在地上㗎，咁啊如果叫埋職員而又肯捉佢嘅話每人要罰2000蚊喎。多謝各位，尤其是願意睇晒廣告嚟支持礦仔嘅老友記呢段時間繼續勤力拍片，同大家緊貼香港嘅各大時事消息。我係礦仔，我哋下次影片繼續傾偈。
經歷過，先知有啲嘢唔可以錯過。timing係講 feel 嘅，啱 feel，做咩都啱。 攞時有成本嘅，但我嘅青春都係成本喎。覺得再潮，眨下眼都過去啦。起碼我潮過，冇白過。辛苦點賺一手爭財啊！睇準 timing 一樣可以前運潮，識把握時機，贏過99.9% 嘅人。Explorer AI 世代流動資金，中國借錢梗要還，咪俾錢中介。
歡迎收睇無線7點半1小時新聞，我係譚建華。今晚嘅主要新聞有：天氣開始轉差，午夜前後會發出1號信號，預料韋柏星期日最接近喺香港50公里範圍掠過。13歲少年內地網購煙霧彈，引發葵涌單位冒煙，被警方拘捕。特朗普及總確診患靜脈疾病，白宮強調總統健康冇問題。詳細內容：熱帶風暴韋柏預期今晚嘅午夜前後進入本港800公里範圍，天文台到時會發出1號戒備信號，並考慮喺聽日日間發出3號強風信號。預料韋柏星期日最接近會喺香港50公里範圍左右掠過。
高溫觸發雷雨區，為本港帶嚟暴雨。元朗同埋荃灣雨勢特別大，下晝雨勢冇咁大，市民遮風擋雨之際，仲要留心熱帶風暴韋柏正係進一步逼近香港。韋柏集結喺馬尼拉之東北偏北，預料向西北移動，大致移向呂宋海峽一帶，並且逐漸增強。今晚午夜前後進入本港800公里範圍。本港聽日稍後風勢會逐漸增強，雨勢頗大同埋有狂風雷暴。天文台考慮聽日日間發出3號強風信號，星期日初時進一步評估係咪需要改發更高熱帶氣旋警告信號。
韋柏喺星期日頗為接近珠江口一帶，並預料會喺香港50公里範圍左右掠過。不過星期日天氣惡劣，有狂風大驟雨同埋雷暴，海有非常大浪同埋湧浪。咁喺佢嘅環流組織嘅過程嘅時候呢，其實亦都會影響到佢嗰個移動路徑。咁天文台會視乎我哋最新嘅資料。
匯豐卓越理財由財富管理、子女環球升學、醫療保健、生活禮遇到退休部署，全程為你度身規劃專業方案，聽好晒人生每個階段，最紅卓越優勢，匯聚環球理財機遇，即刻將匯豐卓越理財專享迎新優惠。
Hello， 大家好，我係阿蛋鄧依玲啊。想唔想好似我啲牙咁又白又齊咧？我嘅美齒秘密其實就係 Grand Smile 喬治牙貼面啊！今日嚟到嘅 Grand Smile 喺香港已經有10幾年經驗㗎啦，而佢哋嘅牙貼係現時全球最薄0.2mm，主張無傷牙齒都可以輕鬆安裝牙貼面，又可以改變牙齒顏色同埋形態。唔知實質又係點運作嘅咧？ Grand Smile 3部曲，輕鬆、簡單、快捷。第一次，佢哋首先會同你做一個免費嘅專業諮詢，睇下你同牙仔適唔適合做先，兼且會講解一個詳細嘅流程㗎。而第二次上嚟就係印製牙帽同埋收靚啲牙影，印製之後佢哋由總公司根據你嘅牙齒 3D 度身進行設計同埋生產。基本上設計圖我已經非常滿意，而家就翻去等下次安裝啦。而最後就係牙貼面安裝啦，佢哋嘅快速安裝區可以1個鐘就完成單排嘅牙貼面啦，成個過程都好舒服同埋好快。事不宜遲，唔知同我一齊揭曉我副新牙啦！哇，好白啊！我同埋好齊整添啊！我都未試過見到對啲牙咁白嘅。想笑就笑，唔使羨慕。如果你都想試下嘅話，快啲聯絡 Grand Smile 做個免費諮詢啦！
歡迎收睇無線7點半1小時新聞，我梁超齊。咁我先睇下啲關於風暴嘅消息啦。8號東南烈風或暴風信號生效，颱風韋柏逐漸轉離香港。天文台將喺夜晚7點40分改發3號強風信號。韋柏嘅強雨帶亦都帶嚟狂風大驟雨，天文台一度發出紅色暴雨警告。天文台上晝9點20分發出10號颶風信號。韋柏中午最接近香港嘅時候，相距天文台只係50公里。10號信號生效近7個鐘，造成廣泛破壞，有400幾宗冧樹報告，20幾人受傷。長沙灣有住宅單位嘅玻璃窗喺10號信號期間成幅爆裂，期間一度發出紅雨警告，多區出現水浸。去到4點10分再改發8號信號，海陸空交通大受影響，機場去到挨晚先至恢復航班升降。外線下10號信號期間韋柏嘅風力。
天光之後，港島杏花邨拍打上岸嘅浪花，一浪接一浪。海面亦都不斷翻起大浪。韋柏帶嚟2年以嚟嘅第一個10號信號，隨住韋柏逐漸逼近，杏花邨繼續首當。風勢同雨勢都不斷增強。樹木被吹到歪埋一邊，最危險嘅可能係呢一個天氣。
我哋覺得就唔好乜風嚟食嘢咯，同埋咁多人搭車，因為呢啲一落到嚟唔會車會咩？
有車人睇嘅，但係冇車咁勁，因為我企唔落，
呢一種嘅風聲，連同紅磡碼頭海面嘅呢一場微雨，都可以感受到10號信號嘅威力。相對全晚嘅風平浪靜，韋柏嘅風力幾何級上升。部分天光鐵點接連被吹至東方航所備，有大塊鐵點由一邊吹到去另一邊，隨時成為移動利器，海港隊都要守備。我做直播嘅時候，定係擘大眼都唔容易。做完直播先發現，其中一個入耳式嘅耳機都懷疑俾風吹走。不過仍然有人唔理天文台嘅勸告，喺岸邊打卡。有人着住雨褸嚟感受風力。
我哋老細係點？走咗啦。風力普通咯，冇以前咁犀利嘅。有啲係想飲茶嘅，點解要冇得開嘅？
西貢碼頭呢一度唔少嘅船家都會預先用索帶將凳或者太陽遮等等嘅雜物綁起，不過大風起上嚟嘅時候都係會被風吹跌。無線電視記者彭榮希報導。
用恒生信用卡賺翻嚟嘅加分 dollars 喺全港15萬間線上線下商戶任你使，指定旅遊網站入邊過千航班換得，搭旺季用得，正價特價都得，零限制㗎。
旅行用埋 Travel Plus 仲賺全城最高7%加分 dollars 回贈。
加分 dollars 橫使掂使都夠好使。而家到8月中，用恒生信用卡賺額外高達2900蚊加分 dollars，立即登記。
借定唔借？
還得到先好借。
What I'm doing here, I'm creating a closed circuit. Very important to keep your cap shunted like this.
you don't accidentally detonate your charge.
Gangsta, I want you to create a show. This is an announcement of evolution. The message is clear.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Not if I see you first.
We'll bring justice to the vigilante group known as the French 75. We are here to award Stephen Lockjaw with the Medal of Honor.
You have to understand, Will.
Me and Mama used to run around and do some real bad things. They got hurt. Now they're coming after us. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
Dad, what is wrong with you?
You're right.
Let's go. I gotta go.
Whoa, what's going on?
I need a weapon, man. All you gotta stop getting nunchucks. Can you actually get a gun?
I wanted to protect you from all your mom's stuff and all my stuff, even though I know that's impossible.
This isn't the end of the line.
Not for you.
Whoa, who's this?
Oh, they're just my friends.
Now, is that a he or a she or a they?
It's not that hard. They, them.
Okay, I just want to be polite.
Keep running, jumping to aqueducts, fire hydrants and hazardous smoke alarms on the back of us. Panorama, don't cry for me, ride for me, try for me, live for me, breathe for me, sing for me.
Yo, say it. Say it, baby.
Love you, Bob.
Love you too. You know what freedom is? No fear. It's like Tom Cruise.
呢報道。公佈期間，政府共接獲471宗臨樹報告，另外有26人受傷至到急症室。堅尼地城有客輪喺颶風之下被吹撞向招商局碼頭。
10號信號下，堅尼地城對出海面，呢艘船不斷靠近岸邊。睇真啲，佢原來係俾大浪同風暴推向前。更加意想唔到一幕即將出現。呢一艘觀光客輪海龍明珠號，朝早大約10點幾，唔使3分鐘就由海中央飄移300米，最終撞向招商局碼頭，冇人受傷。差唔多時間，青朗公路汀九橋往大欖隧道方向，一支燈柱懷疑被強風吹冧。大橋來回線一度要全線封閉，工程人員趕到現場修理。呢一隻大熊貓唔係由海洋公園抽走出嚟，佢原本相信係擺喺寶康路迴旋處嘅花槽，因為太大風被吹到去馬路，仲要破埋相，避咗粒牙。無線電視一部採訪車拍攝風波嘅時候，駛到去寶林北路近景林村，路邊一棵樹突然截斷倒冧，壓咗喺新年村嘅車頭，冇人受傷。大幅棚架亦都逃唔過被吹冧嘅命運。北角天后廟道摩天大廈呢一幅嘅外牆棚架冧咗落嚟，壓毀4部私家車，冇人受傷。灣仔下角道往銅鑼灣方向有大樹倒冧，成棵樹擋住2條行車線，更加將旁邊嘅燈柱成支壓彎咗。沙田廣善街路天停車場一棵大約10米高嘅大樹更加連根拔起，停泊喺樹下面嘅至少2部車就好似俾大樹吞噬咗。無線電視記者羅志報道。
紅色暴雨警告信號生效個幾鐘，渠務處接獲至少3宗水浸報告。
韋帕逐步遠離，伴隨嘅強雨帶繼續為本港廣泛地區帶嚟暴雨。油塘鯉魚門村對開迴旋處，下晝4點幾有車死火，近乎半架車浸咗喺水入邊。
錄咁耐都叫速死，又諗埋啲無謂嘢，5秒，最多5秒。 5秒邊度得啊？
得 ，X 現金 AI 貸款5秒閃批。
5秒？係5秒，啲錢秒速到手。
X Wallet 識秒速周轉，贏過99.9% 嘅人，仲有獎賞添。立即下載 X Wallet。
中國借錢緊要還，咪俾錢中介，
仲等索晒錢啊！
司機更加無語推車。附近嘅鯉魚門道成條路都浸咗，私家車駛經都好似水陸兩用。有人清走坑渠嘅雜物，疏導積水。水浸黑點黃大仙農場道往觀塘方向，差唔多同樣時間水浸，私家車都要硬住頭皮冒險駛過。另一條片段就見到行人路都淹浸，至少去到小腿嘅位置。去到下晝近5點，工作人員清理積水，行車恢復正常。山上面嘅竹園村同樣水浸，有的士喺路中心死火。喺大埔林錦公路近梧桐寨嘅迴旋處，亦都有大灘積水，私家車要掉頭離開。有警察到場了解，見到水深高達膝頭哥。天文台下晝3點45分發出紅色暴雨警告信號，多處都錄得超過50毫米嘅雨量。黃大仙、沙田、荃灣同埋大埔雨勢最大，錄得超過70毫米雨量。港島、九龍東亦都錄得超過40毫米。天文台話，委拍嘅強雨帶持續影響珠江口一帶，受大雨影響或者會有山洪暴發，一啲低洼地帶同埋排水欠佳嘅地區或者會出現水浸，市民亦都應該遠離河道。無線電視記者劉俊堯報道。
海陸空交通預計陸續恢復服務，機場下晝起亦都恢復航班升降。不過機場快線要挨晚6點先至有車，有旅客一度滯留喺香港站。港鐵香港站下晝5點幾企滿大量打算坐機場快線去機場嘅旅客。機場快線喺9號同埋10號信號期間停駛，不過改返做8號信號之後，未能夠即時恢復服務，因為要先清理露天段颱風帶嚟嘅障礙物。
試下攞咗少少嘅，係啊，我覺得個風既然都預得咁準，佢都知道佢嘅逃走路，即係離開路線啦。應該都可以有方法可以預計到佢嘅工作同埋安排。冇辦法啦，即係我諗天氣大家都未必預測得到，咁可能個路面情況又未必係咁容易去清理啦。
要講飛機，唔少人就轉坐的士，不過都大排長龍。
但係而家的士乜嘢價加500，即係差唔多800蚊度啦。咁但係都唔見有車，唔甘心得嚟都好無奈，因為我都好趕時間。咁如果再遲啲嘅話，我連入機場都入唔到，仲未劃位，係啦，乜都未做嘅。
最終機場快線第一班列車挨晚6點可以開出。機管局話，風暴嚟到超過500班航班要取消，大概10萬個旅客受到影響。預料整體要2至3日去處理。
我哋會視乎航班到達嘅情況，進一步同埋港鐵公司研究係咪需要延長我哋機鐵嘅服務。另外喺巴士服務方面咧，仍然需要時間恢復。所以地面嘅整體交通情況咧，依家現時仍然係維持有限度嘅運作。我哋所以亦都預計咧，旅客對於的士嘅需求亦都係非常之大嘅。咁所以咧，我哋繼續會好似今朝到依家咧，我哋會用我哋嘅電子的士派籌輪候嘅系統，俾旅客咧係有秩序咁樣可以坐到的士離開機場。
國泰話夜晚會恢復54班，香港航空恢復26對航班，不過星期一來往香港同海口或者受到風暴影響。香港快運星期日同星期一恢復49對航班。無線電視記者陳嘉欣報道。 各位，天文台啱啱喺夜晚7點40分改發3號強風信號。另外海陸空各類嘅公共交通陸續恢復正常啦。咁記者譚美儀啦就喺深水埗㗎，交通情況點樣呢？
我而家喺深水埗長沙灣道一個十字路口，咁呢一帶嘅交通呢係大致正常。隨住委泊遠離啦，市面都越嚟越多車開始行駛。我哋剛才呢都見到一啲巴士駛過，相信呢都係準備去載客㗎。我哋可以睇翻路面嘅情況啦，見到呢都有一啲私家車同埋的士去駛過。咁見到市民呢都係如常出行，因為都冇乜再點落雨啦，亦唔使再擔遮。城巴同九巴呢都預計喺夜晚8點起陸續恢復餘下嘅日間路線服務。港鐵方面，荃灣線、觀塘線同港島線已經喺大概下晝6點全線。
各位網友，大家好，我係鄺俊宇。今日係2025年7月27號禮拜日啊！今次同各位網友一齊講講香港各大最新嘅時事熱話。咁我先講講呢有關呢颱風消息啦。咁我講緊又話4個颱風又話成㗎。咁我最新情況就話啦4個颱風3缺1啦。咁我最新嗰個嘅颱風消息如何嘅呢？咁4大颱風呢對香港呢未必有直接嘅威脅啊，不過間接嘅威脅就好多喎。因為講緊呢幾日天氣怪怪地，非常酷熱㗎。咁天文台嘅最新天氣預測又如何嘅呢？同各位一齊講講。咁另邊廂亦都講講香港各大最新嘅時事熱話。講落去之前記得撳訂閱，免費訂閱鄺俊宇嘅頻道，睇廣告越長係對鄺仔最大嘅支持啊！衷心多謝各位老友記。事不宜遲，先睇睇呢一則最新消息。根據 HKLA 嘅報導天文台預料弱低壓區會喺香港以南超過400公里經過。咁4個颱風共冇呢就3缺1喎。內文就提到啦，天文台話過去1、2日一個大型嘅季風渦旋正於西北太平洋建立㗎。發展出3個熱帶氣旋分別係范斯高、竹節草同埋羅莎㗎。不過佢哋都不會直接影響香港。天文台日前表示㗎，部分電腦模式預測就喺週末期間係會有個低壓區喺海南島附近形成㗎。並向東橫過南海北部，但就不會出現4個颱風共舞㗎。天文台根據最新嘅預報資料，絕大部分嘅電腦模式都顯示呢個潛在嘅低壓區係相當之弱㗎。或者只會維持一個西南風波動嘅形態。喺香港以南超過400公里經過，因此即使係嗰個嘅潛在低壓區形成預料不會對香港構成直接威脅。呢啲嘅季風槽上形成嘅較弱低壓區只係季風低壓咁話。另外內地中央氣象台預測，仲將會有1至2個熱帶氣旋係會生成㗎。另外雖然個風就未必對香港有直接嘅威脅不過就搞到香港相當之熱喎。根據 HKLA 嘅相關報導，天文台就話天氣極端酷熱多區氣温超過35度㗎。下個禮拜持續有驟雨雷暴內文就提到啦，天文台預計廣東地區今日天氣酷熱高温觸發嘅驟雨係會影響該區㗎。嚟緊禮拜一，本港有幾陣驟雨同埋雷暴，並會持續1個禮拜。當中提到啦，尋日中午時分本港部分地區嘅氣温係上升到超過攝氏35度㗎，包括上水、大埔、黃大仙。當中元朗公園更加錄得係36.4度以上嚟自 HKLA 嘅報導。各位嘅網友要多加留意啦。首先4個颱風就打唔成啦，可能有3個颱風而家醖釀緊。日前台灣嗰邊有專家就話都唔知會唔會有一啲颱風合併嘅情況，仲要有待觀察。不過幾個風同香港嘅直接影響並不大㗎。不過就搞到香港好鬼熱，同埋有啲奇怪嘅天氣㗎。嚟緊今日都係非常之熱，各位嘅網友記得多加飲水。不過要留意啦，聽日禮拜一開始有機會開始有驟雨同埋一啲嘅雷暴㗎。據報係維持整整1個禮拜都落雨㗎。各位嘅網友要多加留意天氣資訊，大家都要身體健康啦。 咁另外咧喺極端酷熱嘅情況下咧，咁講緊土瓜灣嗰邊嘅益豐大廈就好慘喎。根據 HK 嘅報導啊，益豐大廈大停電啦，老人院獲提供流動電源插風扇㗎，婆婆撥線啊降溫就話好辛苦啊，熱到咁樣話。內文提到啦，土瓜灣益豐大廈尋日7月26號晏晝疑似爆水管滲水入電錶房，導致電錶冒煙同埋出現火花。益豐大廈4座全部大停電啦。中電表示影響超過900戶人家，大批居民連夜撤走。不過益豐大廈裏邊嘅老人院唔少嘅院友行動不便㗎，難以撤走啊。老人院獲中電提供後備電，暫時頂住先㗎。但有職員表示，希望可以獲得更加多嘅供電嘅機組，維持長者使用氣墊床嘅運作喎。01到過其中一間有2層嘅老人院了解，院友吳太坐咗張凳上邊㗎，不停用線嚟撥涼㗎。佢坦言好辛苦啊，熱到，不過就話都冇辦法啦。若果覺得太熱嘅話就唯有去沖涼降溫㗎話。職員陳姑娘就話啦，呢個院舍一共住咗24位院友，雖然冇人要用呼吸機等儀器㗎，但有幾個院友係要瞓喺氣墊床之上啦。嗰個院舍暫時只係獲得提供一部流動電源啦，就話係俾我哋用嚟插風扇㗎。陳姑娘表示希望可以獲得提供多幾部呢一啲嘅流動電源或者發電機，幫助嗰啲嘅老人家嘅氣墊床供電㗎。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，講緊嗰啲有公權力嘅人可唔可以幫手協調下呢？講緊安老院呢位陳姑娘都好好㗎咯喎，幫手照顧緊安老院至少24位院友，不過冇電啊，大佬，即係得一個流動電源啫。姑娘就話希望多幾部起碼能夠俾嗰啲瞓氣墊床嘅老人家可以瞓得舒服啲㗎。另邊廂呢個嘅益豐大廈嘅停電有排搞啊，睇嚟據報今日先能夠開始維修程序㗎。希望盡快維修妥當啦。如果唔係講緊幾百戶人可能近1000人都係非常之麻煩同埋頭痛㗎。另外亦都講有關酷熱天氣警告㗎。根據 HK 嘅報導酷熱天氣警告之下有個日本籍嘅男子行西貢米粉頂體力不支㗎，要直升機吊起送醫。呢個問題到啦，熱天氣警告之下，行山不適㗎。尋日7月26號早上，一行3人就喺西貢行山㗎。到上晝10點40分，行到呢個米粉頂嘅時間有人就體力不支，未能夠自己落到山㗎，於是報警求助。政府飛行服務隊派出直升機到場協助。嗰位51歲日本籍嘅男子腳部受傷，由朋友陪同送往灣仔直升機停機坪隨後再送到去律敦治醫院治理㗎。另外喺呢一個嘅酷熱天氣之下就連裝修工人都疑似中暑喎。根據 HK 嘅另一則報導黃色工作暑熱警告之下，啟德裝修工友疑似中暑不適，消防救起送院。內文提到，前日7月26號中午12點半左右，警方接獲一名裝修工友喺啟德木塘街保良局何秀南小學嘅天台工作期間，懷疑中暑感到不適，消防員到場將事主救咗落嚟，佢冇受傷㗎，送院檢查當中。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，提醒各位近日古怪天氣，估計今日都係咁熱㗎，起碼
look at this container. Restaurant manager preference. Classic Coca-Cola. Alright.
They added they got to Lohas Park as the birthday at Lohas Park station. Teriyaki.
So, because it's discontinued, it's a lot harder to get. You gotta find it from somebody who has a stockpile. So this actually cost $90 for the internet. It better be good for that price, but I wanted to try to add to this video since it was available. We also got this one here, which is from Korea, a weird cheesy flavor. I know Spam makes a normal sized can of cheese, but I was running
of flavors. So, the low sodium one and the bacon one I was able to get at Walmart. The low sodium is basically the same as the original, so I didn't even bother getting both of them. Now, what else was I able to actually get in the store? I think hickory smoked came from the actual store, and I think hot and spicy may have come from the actual store. I know these ones I had to buy on Amazon because the store didn't have them. This one here I got on eBay, which is going to be a little weird. I didn't cut it up like that and stretch it open. I wonder how that'll be. So all of these come fully cooked. You are not required to cook it. You can just slice it up and put it in a sandwich, or you can take a big bite out of the chunk like an apple. I want to try them all raw, and maybe I'll try cooking up a slice of each one to see how they are.
Hey, why did you eat the raw?